Y'all see, you ain't ready for this one.
They go through that depression because social media has people thinking that you have to be in a certain place at a certain time, in a certain space in your life. I'm supposed to be where those guys are.
Absolutely.
I'm supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be on this tour or that tour working with this artist. If you were supposed to be doing it, you'd be doing it actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if God wanted you to be where they were, then they wouldn't be there. You would. Mm-hmm. But a lot of we weren't taught, the musician community, we weren't taught to celebrate where you are and work where you are. Mm-hmm. I was talking to one of my boys yesterday, and he was like, how do you stay humble knowing that you do this and you do that? It's like, man, I've gone through it being taken away from me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
At the height. The very highest.
Bro.
Yeah.
I've gone through that. So my mindset going in is, I'm gonna do my job, and if it go away, cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If they let me go, cool. But I'm
you and JJ are the master.
Bro, I'm content with it not happening.
Yeah.
I'm content with it coming and going. Like, you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you'll fall into a depression and not know it.
Yeah.
But you got some guys that only play at church.
Yeah.
That's not had that opportunity. And they feel entitled to be on the other side of it. But it's like, you don't even take church serious, bro.
Yeah.
You don't even learn music in church. You're not even on time for church.
The atmosphere isn't going to change.
Nope.
Your work ethic.
It's not.
At all. It
It's
don't matter.
not.
Like, you could be sitting in front of Quincy Jones.
Yep.
Or your praise and worship leader.
Bingo.
The common denominator is
you. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, your way of thinking. But again, when you get into those kind of conversations, then it goes back to, oh man, my boy is doing this. Why I ain't on? You know why you ain't on.
Yeah, you know why. You just don't want to accept it.
Yeah, outside of it may not be your time. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, it can't be my time because I'm not ready.
Right, exactly.
You know that.
Yeah.
There's certain things we started doing later in life. We couldn't do that early on.
Yeah.
Like, you could actually play more styles of music than I could early on. Because I didn't concentrate.
Right.
Like, looking cool and playing R&B.
That was your thing.
It seemed like I was practicing that shit at the hospital when I was born. It was just the thing. Like, because I used to see these dudes, they just had a certain thing.
Yeah.
It was like, you could see them sitting over there talking. You'd be like, that dude is somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does. So I always practiced that. But when it came to other music, it was just like, I'm cool. And now here you are doing the Idol tour.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're not doing any R&B song on this.
I didn't realize at like 10 or 12 years old, my mom used to listen to Anita Baker.
Oh, yeah.
So once I like fell in love with bass, I'm like, who is that playing bass?
Yeah.
Found out it was Nathan East, but then my uncle would listen to Phil Collins and stuff. And I saw Nathan East's name on there. And it's like, wait, that's the same guy that was playing with Anita Baker. And you go through all of these records, it's like, man, this dude's name is on everything.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to go from Kenny Lewis to Dave Hollister to whoever else calls. I want to be able to fit in whatever slot they need me to fit in. Yeah. But we weren't taught that at church. You learn it, but you weren't taught that. My Reese Fitzgerald sat me down and taught me you should be able to play everything. Yeah. Like, if it's a bass space, you should be able to fit in it.
Yeah.
So that was something that I learned early. And I really like music. I like the bass. I like what it represents. You know what I mean? Like, if you take the bass out of any song, you're gonna notice that it's not there.
Immediately.
You know what I mean? You're gonna notice it. So my whole mindset was, I want you to know that I'm here.
Yeah.
And if I'm gone, I want you to know that I ain't there no more. You know what I mean? And I kind of got that from JJ.
Oh, really?
When I was in high school, I was trying to drop out of high school and move to LA. And JJ was talking to one of the girls at Sweet Holy, And that's when I started filling in for Maurice.
At Swol?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And she was on the phone with JJ one day. He's like, man, I was like, let me talk to her.
She was hype.
I was super hype, and he was like, man, what you want to do? He's like, man, I think I want to move to LA. He was like, that would be dope. I was like, man, I'm about to drop out of school. He's like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. I was like, why not? It's like, you gotta finish school, bro. LA ain't going nowhere. It's not gonna expire before you graduate high school. So he was one of the main guys, like, man, take your time, bro. Like, it's gonna happen for you.
We'll be here, you'll be here.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And fast forward 5-6 years, I'm auditioning with him for Britney Spears. And it was a mind-blowing opportunity and experience. But my mind went back to him like, calm down, bro. Like, pump your brakes a little bit. It's coming. Keep working at it, because obviously you ain't ready right now. If you're talking about dropping out of high school, take your time. It's going to be here when you get here. Whenever you get here.
Absolutely. But you see, I mean, you see them.
Yeah.
And it's just a certain, like I told you, I went out with Teddy in New York the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago. And it wasn't weird, because of course we're close, but sitting in New York with him versus talking to him years ago when I told you, he called me and was like, I heard you're not doing too good. Like, now we're talking about, like, how good you are doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was the thing, because in that space, when you was doing Idol, it was one show we did where Ricky was the band and we was there with Mary.
I remember that.
You remember that? And then Teddy, he basically told me, he's like, yo, man, you may listen to other music. He said, now start listening to it to play it.
Yeah.
That's when it was like, okay, now I'm listening to it to know what the feel is. Not to like the song.
Right.
To love to play it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was 06. When you do Idol?
06. We started, my first year was 2005.
Yeah, so that was, matter of fact, that was like Christmas of 06 because we did Home for the Holidays.
Yep.
That's when he had the conversation, and it was like from that day, I just started, and Teddy told me in New York, he said that day, he was like, I was prepping you to start doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
He was like, because your mindset, he was like, I knew if I threw something at you,
you were going to attack
you was going to do it.
Yeah.
And granted, 4 years later, I started doing American Idol, the show.
Literally 4 years.
So it was, but if I hadn't had that conversation with him, because there's only certain people that can really get you to do stuff that you either wouldn't normally do or that you aren't comfortable with doing. I wasn't even comfortable playing other types of music.
That's because you hadn't dove into it.
Yeah.
That was the only reason you weren't comfortable.
And I used to get so upset when I would hear other people try to play it, but they dog the people out who really play it. Like, you're going to talk about Tommy Lee. That's actually hard to play like that.
It's really hard to play. And you're only talking crazy about it because your version of it is not what it actually is.
Yep.
You've been so brainwashed to think, oh, we're going to play this rock groove in church. That's not rock, bro.
Your distortion is wrong.
Listen, let's start there.
Your distortion is wrong. Your kick pattern, they never play that.
Never.
And
ever.
Like on Idol, I had to sit there and be like, ugh. So you said he's not playing any other field?
Exactly.
Ray was like, no, we'll keep it like the record. But it got, and I always, you know me, I always like playing records anyway.
Yeah.
But playing these different type of records. So when you was up there playing these pop songs, I was just like, he's smashing, but why? So y'all not gonna do nothing.
They not playing nothing.
Yeah, I was like, y'all just playing.
Yeah.
So now when I listen back to it, it was like, I really tried to do my homework.
Yeah. You have to if you really want to be in that space.
Yeah.
Kahari, last time I saw him, rest in peace, Kahari.
Man.
He it was the Christmas after I got finished with Justin Timberlake. And we were at this drum shed. Man made me go to this drum shed. And I walked in, sat down, and he was walking by and saw it was me and sat down next to me. I didn't realize it was him. But he looked over and was like, you out there making a lot of money, hun. I'm like, nigga. So we laughed. He was like, you didn't try to overplay.
Yeah.
You didn't go over there and you didn't church it up. Like, you know what I mean? You didn't go in there not playing the style of music it was. And he was like, man, I'm proud of you. Yeah. It's like, man, I watched you from a kid. Like, we toured together. We did a gospel tour together all those years ago. He was like,
yeah.
From then till now, it's like, you're kind of one of the dudes at this point. Yeah. And that meant the world to me because from a young kid, it's like, you want to be able to play whatever somebody puts in front of you. You want to be able to jump into whatever seat. And that seat is a big seat, bro. Like,
It
Adam's
is.
seat is really huge, man. So to be able to sit in that seat, come behind him and do that gig or any gig he calls me for, and he trusts me, like, my first Justin gig I did without a rehearsal with the
I
band.
remember. The thing is, people think that's so much easier.
Bro, I had never played with Brian before in my life.
I remember.
Ever. And
remember
Brian
you-
is up here to me.
Yeah, I remember you called me like, man, what type of drummer is he? I was like, perfect.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, it's really
exactly.
dope. Like, with it, that's what he does.
Yeah, it's what he. But I didn't know that because
Yeah.
I never experienced that. But even like meeting him and them, the whole band grabbing me and like, man, you gonna be cool. We already heard about you.
Yeah.
That's pressure within itself. It's like,
You know, Daniel called me.
yeah, of course.
He
of
was like,
course.
right, so what's up with the... I was like, you love being out with me? You'll love being...
Yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
we're the same person.
Yeah,
He was like, all right, I'll holler at you. I didn't talk to Daniel again until I saw you.
yeah,
Like, but you always... Any band you were in, they if you came in later, they pulled you in.
they definitely did. They
Some
always
bands
embraced
you will
me.
see, you can tell the separation.
course,
like,
yeah.
oh, my man's sitting in. He's been here for 4 years. He's
Right.
not filling in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's goes with maturity.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Being grown, to say the least.
being an adult,
Because everything.
musically and outside of your instrument, being an adult.
100%.
People really don't want to be around buttholes, man.
Nah.
They don't want to be around idiots.
Nah.
And you shouldn't even want to be the idiot in the band. You
No.
know what I mean?
You mad all the time?
All the time. you upset about something all the time. You want to go talk to management all the time.
Like, what did they do to you today?
Right.
He's like,
What's
like,
your issue today, bro?
YPJ put up this post the other day. I reposted it. He said, people wake up in 2021 like, what shall I be offended about today?
I saw that. I saw that.
It's like, and you know, like we've all had, like I've definitely had my angry moments, but it was always because somebody did something
Yeah.
to me, or I just felt, but it was never just, other than that, I was always like, I joked, but it's like certain dudes, they complain about everything, like, yo, we got to leave at 10. Why we can't do 10, 15? Because it's 15 minutes. Like, if you're not going to be here down at 10,
Yeah,
you won't be here down
You
at
definitely won't be here. At
So those
10,
kind of people, you're right, because we're only on stage for what, 90 minutes?
yeah,
2 hours
2
max.
hours at the most.
Like, come on, man. The other 20 hours, I mean, yeah, we don't share rooms,
Right.
but I don't even want to go to eat with you.
Exactly. I don't want to be around you.
I don't want to ride the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people get, it's so many things, like you say, that come outside of the stage, because they'll look up and they'll look at this dude like, man, why is he getting that call?
Yeah.
Or why is he getting that call? I can outplay him. Well, you may be able to, and you may not be
Yeah.
able to, but you can't outplay them at that.
Yeah. But 10 times out of 10, the guy that thinks he can outplay you, he really can.
But I'm
You
saying
know what I
he
mean?
can't, but the thing is, he can't outplay you at those situations.
You can't outplay me being me. They called me because
Yeah.
they wanted me.
Exactly.
They did. If they wanted you, you would have gotten a call.
But we don't want to hear somebody outplay somebody.
Exactly.
This is a country gig. You actually don't even know how to play bass.
You actually
You
don't
just
even
have
know how to.
have the feel.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yep.
You're not playing. You're playing 2 notes.
That's it. We don't want 3. We don't want 2.5. We don't want 1.5.
Yeah.
It's literally 2 notes. But
So-
that's a discipline that most musicians don't have. And even with being in the space that we're in now, we've been down all of these months. Everybody's posting videos. Everybody's posting, let me show y'all what I
have
can
you
do.
posted one?
Not one. I haven't posted one video. And not because I'm like better than anybody. I'm just not into posting
No, I get
videos.
it.
Sitting
No,
at
it
the
was
crib.
it's just funny because you consistently stay doing what you do.
I'm not ever gonna change from being who I am.
But that's not that's never been your thing.
Never. I'm not that guy. Like I'm in my mind, I don't feel like me sitting down by myself, shedding over somebody's. My mind mentally won't even let me think outside of the bass space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You're gonna be sitting there playing
the
song.
regular song, and it's gonna be boring
Yeah.
because what I'm gonna play is already on the record.
Right.
I'm not gonna go outside. I'm not gonna deviate.
That needs to be heard. I mean, you don't. First of all, you don't have the time. But I'm just saying, like the videos I do, you may have 1 or 2 videos where somebody asks me to open up if it's their track.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm gonna just play the record.
Exactly.
You know, but I do it because it's not always being done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not posting a video to show you what chop I got because
Exactly.
more than likely you can out chop me.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I just want to outwork you. You know what I mean? I'm cool
Right.
with that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't ever want that disconnect to be there. Like, I can't show you
Yeah.
what it is. I'm not going to tell the person, like, well, you keep following that, that's the type of work you're going to get. If that's what you want to do, cool.
Right.
But at least I could show you what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just lead by example,
Right.
in some way. And like with you, like your plan, just like I got my tops. So it's like everybody has their top list.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like in my top list, it has to be dudes that you can take everywhere with
Everywhere,
you.
yeah.
Because we moving as a team.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. We can play trap over here, pop over there, R&B over there, gospel over there. But can we use the same unit?
And you use the same guys for each genre that you just named.
Because there's going to be a TV show where all of those genres are going to have to be played.
Yep.
You don't want to be the guy where the artist has to bring their person in.
You're right.
Because you can't play
Yep.
that song.
And it don't sound authentic to what they used to.
That's not the move. And I grew up a lot of times thinking under that.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be that guy because I was so good. I thought at what I was
At one thing.
At one thing, it's like, no, I'm not going to start from the bottom over there.
Right. Yeah. But it's not really you started. But in our mind, we weren't thinking that. But you already have an advantage if you are going to go play country because you've already played pop and R&B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
true.
those guys. I remember when Justin Timberlake did the Country Music Awards. It was him and Chris Staples.
Okay.
Or Stapleton, whatever his name is. And Adam them played. They completely destroyed the Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
They destroyed. I texted him that night. I said, get ready for the country artists to start calling you. And he put laugh out loud, I hope so. Not much later after that, he was doing Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
100%.
Because he went over there and he understood what the assignment was. They destroyed this Country Music Awards. And now he has like 5-6 country acts that he worked with. Because he went and did what the job was. Had he went in there trying to make Justin sound like a country artist, had he went in there trying to do anything other than what they did on a normal basis, it wouldn't have been authentic.
Yeah.
But that's why the dude get the calls that he get.
Because they respect what we do.
They love it. They wish they could do what we do.
Exactly. So if you bring one of us over there, but you come over there respecting what they already do.
Exactly.
They like, oh, we want him.
Exactly.
Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Why not call him?
But yeah, man, it's just a different thing. Like I say, man, I went through a depression where I was in the basement for 2 weeks. No lights, no nothing. I mean, it was a bathroom down there. I didn't come upstairs. This is when I was living with my parents. I didn't come upstairs to shower.
Really?
None of that. But I'm saying all that to say there was so much I thought I was ready to do, and I wasn't. So it's like to get to these type of talks where you're like, oh yeah, I'm able to play country.
Right,
I'm
right.
able to play. You may feel I don't play it well, but you're also not paying me.
You're also not calling me. So it really don't matter what you think.
And I had to get through that too.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of people, they just, oh man, it's like.
But that's the, and I don't know if this happens in every city, but in Chicago, there's a group of guys that put labels on you, and they say, oh, he's good at this.
Yeah.
And he's good playing that. And then now it's out that you only play one thing, or you're only good at one thing.
Yeah.
So when you start doing other stuff that they didn't call you for, or they don't deem you're good enough for, it's like, I don't even know how he got that, because he ain't even that sweet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're going to discredit all the work that I put in.
Yeah.
You're going to discredit everything that I've done to get to this point because I surpassed what you thought I was and the gift that you thought I had. That's not an issue that I got, bro. That's an issue for you.
Yeah, you have personal problems with yourself.
Bingo.
Yeah, and I'm always the type, man, I'm an open book when it comes to, like when it comes to helping people. But what you're not going to do is waste my time.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're not going to do. There's a drummer to this date here. And I had a conversation with him years ago. He's not too much younger than I am.
Really?
I don't think he's ever even played outside of Chicago. Personally.
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
think so. You know, but again, he can play, but it's just all over the place. And my thing was, no, you can play. Because I don't ever want anybody to feel like, oh, if I'm not playing like a certain person. No, you can play, which is why people are saying what they're saying. But you at an age now where you can't keep playing like that.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at this dude. Now he was under you.
Yeah.
In so-called people's eyes. Now he's doing this.
Right.
This guy was under you. Now he's doing that. But you're still doing this.
Exactly.
It's like, so you're never going to look in the mirror and say.
People are really afraid to look in the mirror, bro. And I want to publicly go on record saying, I watched you look in the mirror the last couple years, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we could talk about music and everybody's seen what you've done musically. There's not a drummer in Chicago. And I love and I'm connected to everybody. There's not one drummer in Chicago that's done what you've done musically. That's played at the level that you've played, that's gotten the calls that you've gotten. But what you just did in the last 2.5 years, bro, I don't think you really understand what you've done for the music community. So many guys look up to you. So many guys look at you. So many guys watch you to hate on you. So many guys watch you to follow in your footsteps. So, bro, when you kicked alcohol the way you did, I was blown away because I didn't believe it. And you don't believe it until you get around you and you're like, this dude really ain't drinking.
No.
This dude really ain't. I ain't had a drink in 1.5 years, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that, bro.
You used to see somebody do it every day.
Bro.
We was around each other every day.
And people don't really know the ins and outs of what you were dealing with, but people knew you were drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, we had an issue when we was out with Mary at Essence, and I went off on you.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, listen to me. This cannot be you. This is not who you
I
are.
remember that, yeah.
It's like, man, we just sound a mess, bro.
Yeah.
And whatever happened between us, we got into it. That was like our second time getting into it. And then Omar pulled us to the side at production rehearsal. He's like, man, y'all got to talk.
Yeah.
Like, this is not who y'all are. Like, watching y'all go back and forth like that, it was like watching two brothers almost get into a fight.
Yeah.
So
and
for
everybody else is like, they're too close. We can't say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, it was disappointing because I watched my mom go through that. And it's like, man, I can't let you do what I watched my mom do to herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got too much life to live, bro. And I told you that in New Orleans. Like, man, you got too much life to live.
Yeah.
And man, you pull me to the side. It's like, man, I'm a figure this out.
Yeah.
And
That's my word. I'm gonna figure it out.
That's what you said. You say that about everything.
Yeah.
And to be sitting here with you and knowing that you sober, bro.
Yeah.
Knowing that you don't
For
drink,
real.
knowing that you don't have a taste for alcohol. It was no AA meetings.
Nah.
It was no specific counseling that you went to. Knowing that you could wheel yourself out of this thing, bro. It's mind blowing. You know how many guys go through that and was silently dealing with that, G?
Yeah.
Silently drinking themselves in the grave, bro.
Dog, it's the
I watched you, man. I've been touring with you since I was 19 years old. And I watched the rise of that thing, and I was watching the fall of it. And I could not say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, we all was like, all right, Rex, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, gotta help you to the room. It's like, this is not my dude. This is not who this guy is.
He's always the one that's in control.
Always.
Like, and it's not even in control of the situation. Definitely in control of himself.
Always.
If anything. And I think, yeah, man, for me, like, dog, man, that's but I mean, it's a few people that dealt with it personally because it was me. You know, of course, when it comes to like Tiff.
Yeah.
You know, my kids were younger, but still they knew daddy sleeping all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like, again, that was going back to what we said, that was another part of depression.
Yeah, of course.
Now I couldn't just lock myself away.
You can't.
In the basement.
You cannot.
But so in my mind, I still have to come in public, but I don't want to see anybody.
Got you.
Nobody. So
if I'm out of it, I ain't gonna see nobody.
Yeah. So if I
Yeah.
come around y'all and even if I'm not necessarily drunk in that moment, I know I'm not myself enough to be cool with y'all. So I'll be sitting there like, yo, like what we doing? Shit, it don't matter. Like, whatever. Like I
Right.
don't want to be here anyway.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the people around me. It was me. I didn't want to be in certain
Right.
places because I knew I was dealing with stuff, and I knew part of me not dealing with that was why I was stuck in certain places. So I was pissed at myself.
Right.
Though it had nothing to do with nobody
Right,
else.
right.
That's why when people be like, man, why was you doing it? Nigga, if I knew, I would like, I don't know. I just know I wasn't in a place. I knew it was times where I was looking at myself like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right, right.
Like, but again, I was brought up to think that like an alcoholic or like an alcoholic was a wino.
Yeah.
Like a wino just sounds worse than an alcoholic.
Right, right.
But again, we was brought up, and I don't think it was on purpose. It's just what we saw. We was the nigga that was in front of the liquor store
Exactly.
with the paper bag.
Yeah.
Was like,
I'm not that, so
Yeah.
I'm cool.
that's how I thought.
Yeah.
I'm the cool nigga getting out my car.
Yeah.
Like I'm going in the liquor store G'd up.
Right.
Like it's like, what you doing here? It's a liquor store.
It's what I ain't
You
coming here
don't
to
even
get
know if I'm
peppermint.
buying it for myself. But again, because that was my thought process, and nobody was coming to me telling me they were dealing with it. Even some of the dudes that are still dealing with
Yeah.
it were telling me I need to get my stuff together. So I'm like, okay.
Because so many people are watching you.
Yeah.
So many guys look up to you. So many guys, their next move is whatever your next move is.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that for the life of me. It's like, this guy, well, I understood it, but I also didn't understand why you didn't understand that.
Right.
So many of us were behind you and on this trail to wherever we were going. So when the alcohol became a problem, it's like, man, how do I tell my boy that he's damn near about to kill himself without telling my boy he damn near about to kill himself?
Yeah.
I would have conversations with you about my mom, and I didn't have those conversations with nobody.
Right.
Nobody knew what my mom was dealing with. Nobody knew my mom was in rehab.
Yeah.
Nobody knew she was an alcoholic. Nobody knew none of that stuff but you. But I told you all of those things because I was like, I can't let my boy go down this rabbit hole. Yeah. And when you went down it, it's like, I gotta get my boy out. Like one day, you didn't even know I was coming to the crib. I texted you like, nigga, I'm on my way to come see you. I'm getting some tacos and I'm coming over. And I think you were drunk that day.
I'm sure I was. I had been drinking for sure because Tiff had told me, she was like, I think she had talked to you at some point.
Yep.
I was like, he's just home. Because I think at that point I was just taking the kids to school.
That's it. And going
coming
back to the crib.
Yeah.
And I sat at that table with you and I was like, bro, you got to pull it together, bro.
Yeah.
And to watch that, to go from that to you calling me like, bro, I ain't had a drink in 14 months or however long it's been. It's like, it's amazing to experience. Yeah. It's amazing to watch you at this space. You've literally lost 60 pounds. You're literally the same size as me. Yeah. And you know, if you ain't going to the gym to lose weight and then people lose weight, it looks unhealthy.
Yeah.
You don't look unhealthy.
Right.
You still look like Rex. You're just small.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to me, dude. I'm super proud of you, man.
I appreciate that, man.
And I don't think people understand how powerful it is to tell your friends that you're proud of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get that growing up. I didn't get, oh man, I love you. The last time, and the only time I remember my mom telling me she loved me was right before she died. The Sunday before she passed away.
Oh, wow.
That was the only time.
Jeez.
That's in my adult life and as a kid, I don't ever remember her telling me that.
Wow.
And she never called my phone. Like, you know, like it was never a time like, hold on, this is my mama.
Yeah, no, it
She's
wasn't that, yeah.
only called me a few times, and the last time she called from a payphone just to tell me that she loved me.
Wow.
And that was my last time ever talking to her.
But people, that's what I'm saying. People see you.
Yeah.
You don't have those conversations. So they see you, but would never imagine that.
Right, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And for instance, I'm so protective, even though sometimes I'm the youngest, majority of the time I'm the oldest, depending on the crew, I'm still a protector of everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So my guards was always up about maybe you or Marcus.
Yeah.
Just dudes that was in my circle. But I was struggling. So it's like I would be the dude to stand up for like, yo, if y'all not paying us this, we not doing it. And I stood on that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
didn't care what was happening. You gonna fire us? That's fine. We'll
Right.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But I would go back to the room and be like, dog, you just fought for them, but you're not fighting for yourself. You definitely ain't fighting for your family because the shit Tiff has seen me go through. Dog.
Me and Tiff has had many
believe me,
conversations.
I know.
Yeah.
And she knew.
You're fighting for them, but you're not fighting for yourself.
At all.
That's a conversation most people aren't having with themselves.
Y'all see, ready